In this cinema, it's seen the full journey of sound in film. It started from silent films with maybe a pianist and then this orchestra in the early days, and then obviously we go into mono sound and stereo sound. That's another thing that I want to try and give a nod to, how sound has evolved in these spaces over time. So my name is Chris Timpson. I'm a sound designer and sound artist. I guess I got a particular interest in multi-speaker sound, so creating installations where you're immersed in 3D soundscape. That's led to a lot of work, for example, binaural work with this microphone here, which is a headphone experience, so really immersive 3D sound for headphones. So last year I had the great privilege of working with the Met Museum in New York on a big project about the history of Versailles. I'm just kind of quite intrigued by sound and humans' relationships with sound. Living in the Southwest, I mean, firstly, having the opportunity to work on something local can be unusual because a lot of my work is all over the place. What Eyeview are trying to do with site-specific installations is really interesting, and Torbay has an amazing array of really interesting venues and locations that, for someone like me who likes to get into a venue and create something specific there, it's a great opportunity. The name, to start with, Electric Sound Palace, was kind of inspired by Electric Picture Palace, which was, we think, a name of this cinema originally. There was actually two cinemas in Paignton, so it's quite confusing when looking at the history what refers to what. But we just became interested in actually, well, how could we create an interesting sonic destination here? In doing further research, there's stories that there used to be a 21-piece orchestra that would play to accompany silent movies, and that instantly got my brain ticking, because I was like, wow, okay, what can we do with the idea of recreating a 21-piece orchestra using multi-speaker technology? This orchestra, there's the technical playback aspect, so we're going to create that between the screen and the audience area. We're actually planning to, using loudspeakers, recreate 21 orchestra members in that space. So that's a kind of technical job of customizing a multi-speaker sound system and making sure that everything's working together and in sync, and that it sounds nice in the room. Then there's a content creation part. We have been recording the Torbay Symphony Orchestra using between about 30 and 40 microphones at a time, so that we can capture individual players and individual sections, with the idea that then the audience might be able to control some of those sections a little bit when they're in the experience. And if nothing else, it's going to make it sound brilliant in the space, having all of those parts recorded in that way. We're also looking at experimenting with playable aspects to the piece as well, and seeing if there's a way that the audience can participate and control or slightly alter the orchestra by using the seats in the cinema. So that's a real experimental part of the work, and at this stage I can't tell you how that's going to pan out, but something will pan out, and hopefully it'll be exciting and lead to further work using that technology. I'm really lucky to have partnered up with the Media Workshop. They've been helping me figure out how we're going to actually wire up some switches onto some of the seats in the space, and this is a Grade 2 listed building as well, so we have to do that in a very sensitive way and also a robust way. I hope when people come into the installation that firstly it's an amazing chance to get into this beautiful building. I mean, experience something different to a normal cinema type experience as well. So my ambition is to kind of fill the room with sound and with beautiful sound and interesting sound, and hopefully give the audience an opportunity to interact with that.